Morning, I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I'm Veronica Corningstone with this special Halloween edition of the Wildcat Report. With Halloween here, we have seen quite the diversity of costumes and costume ideas.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Ron, I would be surprised if students were concerned about an old wooden ship.
Well, Gabby McGinn has analyzed important costume decisions and the effects of the costumes we choose every October 31st.
Every year, both students and staff come up with creative ways to be able to show off their Halloween spirit in the form of Halloween costumes.
Halloween is a lot of fun, from when you're a little kid to when you're an adult, because when you're an adult you get to take your kids out to have fun. And so the idea of celebrating an ancient holiday, in that way is pretty cool for me. I like it.
Halloween, which used to be a fun venture for some, has now turned into something that is quite controversial.
Costumes that are definitely over-sexualized are police officers, firefighters.
If it's too far, yeah, that's like you probably need to put some clothes on, but I mean, it's kind of the opportunity they can take advantage of.
In the popular movie Mean Girls, the character Katie Heron explains that Halloween is every girl's one day where they can dress like a slut and no one can say anything about it.
What are you?
I'm a mouse. Duh.
Question, how would you feel if your daughter had dressed like this?
I probably wouldn't want my daughter dressing like that, just because it's kind of slutty and it just looks, it puts a bad name for herself.
Even Walmart battled controversy, having the name Fat Girls Costumes listed on their website. Another case has been where people have been dressing up as certain cultures, and those cultures have been taking offense to it, starting up new campaigns to go against it.
Really what it comes down to is that concept of victimizing a group again. Someone through whom clear historical wrong has been done. Through this false perception that we are either doing something that's just lighthearted and fun, Ooh, I darkened my face to be like Oprah because it's fun. Well, unfortunately, it's only fun to the person who's doing it sometimes, And so with...
Like I said, Halloween, it doesn't really define who you are, like what you go as. I feel like that's just kind of, oh, I'll go as this, I'll go as that. It's not really a big choice in life, but if it's too risky, too on the border, it could become dangerous at some point for more aggressive people. But the way I look at it is they're just going as a certain Halloween costume.
Wish that that things like Halloween and sporting events and things could be opportunities for people to talk about culture, to understand culture, rather than take one little thread of a culture that we think we know and turn it into a caricature, turn it into a headdress, waving, or tomahawk chopping Indian or something like that. That's what I wish would not be the focus. I wish the focus would be on positive conversations about things. And unfortunately, when we costume ourselves as another group of people, I think we lose the opportunity because it raises people's ire, it makes them mad, and then positive conversations can't happen.
When it comes to costume, personally, I say dress for weather. If you're gonna be a police officer, you can put on a coat or something. But be aware of other peers. If you're gonna be by judgmental people, don't dress for them, dress for you, but just be aware there will be judgmental people if you're going to be around them at a party. That's all I got to add.
This has been Gabby McGinn and Taylor Charlson. The Miller West Marching Band has once again marched their way into success, taking third place and a superior rating at the NSBA state contest.
Speaking of top fives, Carigan, Marissa, and Jessica peek into the Omaha and surrounding areas top 5 haunted.
Some say to not mess with those from the other side, but what if they mess with us? Here are some of the greatest haunts around Omaha.
Since 1919, the Black Angel has stood tall above the grave of Ruth Ann Dodge, the wife of a general during the Civil War. It is said that the statue is haunted by Ruth herself, and that if a person touches the tarnished metal, they die in 2 days.
A great idea to mess around with the Black Angel. And I'm over here shaking in my boots. I believe in all that stuff. I've been watching movies since I was like 6 years old. So we were sitting around it, and all of a sudden my friend decides to take his glass, those glass Pepsi bottles, and so he takes it, just chucks it right at it. and I'm just like I'm ready to go home and watch some like Barney or something. Like
The Dana Hall of Science is said to be the most haunted building on the Dana campus. Late-night workers have reported seeing a dark entity after turning around in the lab. Also, a false fire alarm causes the sprinklers to turn on and flood the building in the summer of 1999. Many claim that it was a mischievous ghost. The oldest building on the Dana campus, Argyle Hall, has numerous reports of objects moving by themselves, electronics such as TVs and radios turn on, and doors opening and slamming. Also, a disembodied hand touching people. Known to be one of the most haunted places in Omaha, Hummel Park has a dark past. Full of winding roads, paths are framed by drooping branches of oak trees. But the limbs didn't grow that way. It's because of all the bodies of blacks that were hung there during the 1960s.
I started hearing some things, and I didn't really think much of it at first. It was just kind of a thing, maybe the wind, you know? And, but then I started hearing these footsteps coming around behind me. And so I turned around and, you know, nothing there, just probably some branches. And so I took like the shortcut through the park. And that was the biggest mistake of my life. I kept walking and I saw the tree, and I thought it was weird that these branches were curved in. And I saw this man standing next to the tree. And I really didn't think much of it at first, but then when I looked back, he wasn't there. I kept walking, you know, not really taking anything seriously. And I tripped up on my shoelaces, you know, I'm kind of a clumsy guy. And I could hear somebody whisper in my ear, like, get away now. And so, you know, I started to get away, because who wouldn't at that point, you know. And so I was trying to like leave as fast as I could, but it was, you know, it's kind of woodsy around there, and I got kind of lost. And I ended up just in the middle of these woods, and like, okay, and then I looked on Google Maps, and those always work, and so I found my way out.
Falls Cemetery, which began as a private family cemetery, is home to the graves of William Rattlesnake Pete Lydiard, William Buffalo Bill Cody, and Mary Mumford, one of Ball's interred residents. Visitors reported tugging of their clothes and bruises on their arms and legs. Happy hauntings. This has been Carigan, Marissa, and Jessica with the Wildcat Report.
I love Desk. I love Lamb. And I love the Millard West cross-country team's recent triumphs. Congratulations to both the boys and girls teams taking runner-up at state with Coach Kurz's last season.
With more coverage, Dana and Carigan had the update with Sports Court.
Oh, wait a minute. We didn't make it as far as we wanted to go, but I think we had a really good regular season. It didn't really end how we wanted it to end. Obviously being a senior, I wanted to go further, but I think
softball, the Cats fell to Papillion La Vista South 6-5 in 8 innings. In the elimination game against Millard North, the game was tied at 3 heading to the bottom of the 7th, but with a home run by the Mustangs, the final score was 4-3. Millard South beat Marion 9-1 to win the state title for the 4th consecutive year in a row.
I really thought going into state that we'd make it a lot further just because of our team chemistry and everything. So that was sad at the end, but we had a really good fun year.
Hanukkah Brown was the only girl on the team to advance to state. She shot a 115 and a 108. Sophomore Nia Station from Omaha Burke took the championship with an 82 and 80. Elkhorn South took home the trophy with their team championship. Cross country won Class A districts this year, and the boys earned 3rd. At the state meet in Kearney, the girls finished as state runner-up with 89 to the Papillion La Vista South Titans 86. The boys team finished as Class A state runner-up as well. Carrie Olson came into 9th overall, losing to Poe from Lincoln North Star with a mile time of 5:47. Seth Hirsch came in 17th overall with a 17:02 time. The championship time was 15:46 by Creighton Prep.
Going into state, I had no clue what we were going to get, but when we got second, I thought that was really good, better than I thought we would.
The girls' varsity volleyball team played their last home game against Marion. Marion swept Millard West 3-0. Metro started Tuesday, and the girls defeated Bellevue West Omaha Northwest, and Omaha North. In the quarterfinals, the Wildcats fell to number 5 Papillion La Vista South in 2 sets, 17-25 in the first set and 20-25 in the second. In the conference tournament final, number 3 Marion fell to number 1 Papillion La Vista in 3 sets. Districts start this Tuesday.
Considering the circumstances of losing 5 seniors, we did good. We've had a winning season, and we've grown a lot as a team.
Brandon McClintock, number 1 singles, lost in the first round to Omaha Central, and number 2 singles, Joshua Miller, lost in 2 sets to Lincoln Southwest. Number 1 doubles team lost in their first round to Omaha Central, and the number 2 doubles team lost in the second round in 3 sets to Lincoln High School. Millard West had 16 points overall, with Creighton Prep winning state with a score of 56.
Overall, we did really well as a team. We did much better than last year and improved by 5 or 6 spots, and next year should be even better.
Season's gone pretty good. We have 3 losses on the year. Probably should have only had maybe 1. Could have probably won them all. But other than that, we still ended up making it to the playoffs, so we still have a chance, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Friday, the boys varsity football team traveled to Lincoln Southeast. On a long run in the first quarter, Thomas Russell took the ball to the 1-yard line and scored in the next play. The 2-point conversion was good, and the Wildcats went up 8-7. At halftime, the score was tied at 14. With 7:47 remaining in the third quarter, Millard West retook a 28-21 lead after an 80-yard scoring drive. Dylan Hughes ripped off an 80 trap for the last touchdown scored for the Wildcats. Final score of the game was 35-21 Cats. This has been Carigan Wiegand and Dana Huard with Sports Corner.
Juniors and seniors need to be paying close attention to the daily announcements, where college visits are listed. Dozens of schools are visiting Millard West, and spots are filling up quickly, so get signed up through Naviance.
They've done studies, and 60% of the time, college visits work every time.
Well, that doesn't even make sense, but it would work 100% of the time if students constantly logged on and signed up. It's important to be getting an idea of your future and also getting a possible idea of Halloween pranks. Lillian and Craig are getting spooky with stories of students and their Halloween prank stories. I need to do that.
Every Halloween, houses are egged and children are scared, and pumpkins are smashed. Let's find out if tricks are more common than treats this year.
I've done Halloween pranks. Yes, I've done Halloween pranks. I have done, I think, 2. I would wait for trick-or-treaters to come, and I would hide in a big pile of bushes. I would jump out and scare them. That was amusing. Then the second one, I would go around with my friends, and we would replace people's pumpkins that they had carved with pumpkins that have not been carved. To just confuse them.
How far is too far?
I went to my friend's house, and I put like a whole bunch of pumpkins in his garage and outside his garage, and I just got a sledgehammer and just smashed them all and left, and he didn't know it was me. Not until this day, he doesn't even know it's me.
Well, my favorite one to do is using red and blue pen to create a kind of like it looks like my finger was chopped off and re-sewn back on, and I'll go up to people and I'll tap my finger on them and they'll freak out. Or I might draw a huge scar across my chest. I might put fake blood on my hand and run around like I've had my hand damaged. I may lay in the grass and wait for people to walk up to me and squirt blood everywhere.
And then when kids come by to get candy, I'll just like be sitting up there with my friend, and we're just gonna be scaring them, just in a lawn chair.
Stealing Halloween candy. Well, can't say I have. I've had my Halloween candy stolen before by trick-or-treaters. That wasn't very cool. So if you do that, don't do that.
I feel pretty bad about doing it. I did all that work, and I didn't clean up at all. I just left it there. His parents probably hate me now, but I don't talk to them anymore, so it's all good.
But I don't go trick-or-treating. I gave that up. I usually just hang out with friends on Halloween.
Who says you're too old to dress up?
Here, Halloween, I'm going to be Batman. I'm dressing up as Lucifer for Halloween.
I'll be dressing up as a killer clown.
If you are going trick-or-treating, you should always have a parent, and you should always have a group of people with you and a flashlight.
This has been Lilly and Griffith and the man behind the camera, Craig Morrissey, with the Wildcat Report. Have a fun and safe Halloween, Wildcats.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, Millard West.
And thanks for stopping by.
But mainly, stay classy.
Thanks for stopping by.
Stay classy, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Thank you for stopping by.
Stay classy, Ron Burgundy.